Unwritten rules, tickets and formal qualifications in the mining industry. Welcome to Australian Mining for New Starters, and in this video we are going to have a look at the unwritten rules. Well, they're actually written, but nobody knows about them. So let's jump over to the sponsors training. So this is straight out of the basic mine site operation course. So this is the first one, and this is the duties of employees. Now this is what the Act used to say, and they've just changed the Act and the regulations into the health and safety regulations in WA, but they've kept all the important stuff. So I'm just going to show you how they've moved it and where they've moved it and what they say and why it's important to understand this when you're going to go and get a mining job, because it's really important. So the big one in this one is B's, the important one. Provide such information, instruction, training and supervision of employees as necessary to enable them to perform their work in such a manner that they're not exposed to any hazards. And then it comes down to, in determining such training is required to be provided in accordance with subsection 1B, regard must be had for the functions performed by employees and their capacities in which they are employed. So what all that basically means is, and the reason they changed that back in the day was to improve safety. So all the owners of the mine, the owner of each individual mine, is responsible for training everybody that comes on that mine site to work for them. So they have to be able to prove in a court of law that they've done that. Now they've moved it around. So this is the Work Health and Safety Mines Regulations. This is where they've transferred it from one to another, so you can have a look. So it's gone from information training induction, so that's the bits in that we were just looking at, and then it's transferred it over into these bits. And so the bits that we're interested in is the 675B and the 675BB. BA. And if we go over to here and WA legislation, you can download it, and I've downloaded it, and I've gone straight to the page, and this is it in the Work Health Safety Mines Regulation. So this is a special bit. So this is an added regulation in on top of what everybody else around the country or in the state of WA has to do with their workers. So the mine operator must ensure that each worker at the mine is given suitable and adequate information, training and instruction in relation to the following. So all the hazards associated with the work being carried out, control measures, all the hazards and all that sort of stuff, and the emergency plan and all that sort of stuff as well. You've got to be given all that instructions. But it's the 675BA, the site induction for new workers, that's a real important one that they've made it really concise. So the mine operator of a mine must ensure that before a worker commences work at a mine, the worker is given information, training and instruction on the general mining operations, systems of work, so that's the procedures that you have to use to do your job, safety procedures and tasks required of the worker. So that basically means, and this is a regulation on top of all the other employers have to do, is that when they get somebody new into their site, they have to run them through everything. So you have to be able to prove in a court of law that you've done everything they can to train you. And that's why you can't import equipment tickets onto these sites, and that's why there's no formal qualifications that anybody recognises. So when you go over to Seek and type underground into Seek, like I've done here, and all the jobs come up, you'll see that none of the jobs are asking, so this is a full crew ad, for all the entry-level truck operators and water cut operators and all that sort of stuff, and grader operators and pace crew and service crew and all that sort of stuff. They don't want any equipment tickets. They just want the experience of actually knowing how the underground works and doing the job. So with your truck operating, if you can show the employer that you know how the mine works, then you've got something to offer them. So they can't use the Certificate 2s or Certificate 3s that they're offering in all these traineeships. They have to issue their own on-site equipment tickets and on-site procedures. So if you really want a job, the best way to get yourself a job, especially in the underground space where it's going to pay you all the money, is to have a look at the Intro to Underground Mining, the DIY package or the Work Ready package that we've got. It teaches you how the mine works from top to bottom, and it gives you all the information that you need to know about how the mine works, so you can hold that conversation with the employer in the interview about what's going to be expected of you down the hole and what's going to be expected of you on a mine site. So it's one of the unwritten rules that are going around about tickets and and formal qualifications. It's there in black and white. It's been copied into all the other mining acts and regulations around the country. The only exception with those tickets is coal in Queensland and the maintenance side of things, like shutdown work and construction work and that sort of stuff. And the reason that they can use those exceptions there is because when they get a shutdown crew up, they turn that area of the mine into a construction site. So they temporarily suspend the mining operation, and that way you can bring your shutdown crew on and they can use all their construction tickets and all that sort of stuff. But if it was still a mine site and it was still classed as a mine site, all those people would have to go through probably 3 or 4 weeks worth of inductions and tickets and being signed off and all that sort of stuff before they could do anything. And that's why they call it shutdown work, because it shuts everything down, transfers it from a mining to a construction or a shutdown or a maintenance operation for that period of time, and then they go from there. So I hope you found that information helpful, and if you could share this information around and like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.